Two crew members have been rescued alive when rescue team found them at the tail of Jeju Airlines plane flying from Bangkok that landed at Muan International Airport in South Korea on Sunday without wheels or landing gears, using its belly to land through, veering off the airport runway and burst into fireball when it slammed into the wall of the airport perimeter's fence, killing over 177 persons on board as 2 occupants in the aircraft are yet to be accounted for. Jeju Airlines in a press statement said that 181 persons including crew members were on board plane, which local media at the crash site said. The rescue team have switched the rescue operation to recovery after presuming 177 persons died late night on Sunday according to South Korea local time, and to continue the search on Monday morning for the remaining 2 persons. South Korea's Minister of Land, Infrastructure and Transport, Park Sang-woo said on Sunday that the government will mobilize all available resources to ensure swift rescue operations and manage the aftermath of the accident at Muan Airport in the south of the country. Park also apologized and expressed condolences to victims' families and the public, as the minister responsible for overseeing aviation administration. South Korea's Transport Ministry said, Jeju Air Flight 7C2216, arriving from the Thai capital Bangkok with 181 people on board, was attempting to land shortly after 9 a.m. at the airport in the south of the country. Videos posted online showed the twin-engine Boeing 737-800 skidding down the runway with no apparent landing gear before slamming into a wall in an explosion of flame and debris. Local media reported that 2 crew members, a man and a woman, were rescued from the tail section of the burning plane, Muan Fire Chief Lee Jong-hyun told a briefing. The fire was extinguished as of 1 p.m., Lee said, according to the media. Only the tail part retains a little bit of shape, and the rest looks almost impossible to recognize, he said. Authorities have switched from rescue to recovery operations, and because of the force of the impact, are searching nearby areas for bodies possibly thrown from the plane, Lee added. South Korea's Transport Ministry said on Sunday that its investigation unit secured both of the 2 black boxes from the crashed passenger jet. A total of 176 passengers and crew were reportedly presumed dead, with 3 missing, after the Jeju airplane, carrying 181 passengers and crew on a flight from Thailand, attempted a belly landing at the airport. A bird strike has emerged as a possible factor in Sunday's crash, Korean media Yonhap reported. A bird strike and adverse weather conditions were cited by authorities as likely causes of the crash that flung passengers out of the plane and left it almost completely destroyed, according to fire officials. International news agencies reported that, inside the airport terminal, tearful family members gathered to wait for news, with the boards typically used for arrival and departure information displaying names, dates of birth and nationalities of the victims. According to Reuters, News One agency reported that a passenger on the aircraft texted a relative to say that a bird was stuck in the plane's wing. The person's final words were reportedly, "Should I say my last words?" The fire department issued a statement regarding the crash. The department said, "The plane is almost completely destroyed, and identifying the deceased is proving difficult. The process is taking time as we locate and recover the remains." Jeju Airlines CEO, Kim Lee-bae issued an official statement on the company website and held a press conference. "First, we bow our heads in apology to everyone who has trusted Jeju Air. At approximately 9:03 a.m. on 29 December, Flight 7C2216 from Bangkok to Muan caught fire while landing at Muan International Airport. Above all, we express our deepest condolences and apologies to the families of the passengers who lost their lives in this accident. At present, the cause of the accident is difficult to determine, and we must await the official investigation results from the relevant government agencies," the CEO said in the statement. Meanwhile, Bangkok Post in a news report stated that South Korea's acting president, Choi Sang-mok, arrived at the scene of the deadliest air disaster on the country's soil on Sunday. He had been on the job for less than 48 hours. Choi, the country's finance minister, became acting leader on Friday night after the impeachment of Prime Minister Han Duck-soo, who had been acting president since President Yoon Suk-yeol was impeached and suspended from power on December 14 following his short-lived attempt to impose martial law. The bewildering turnover at the top of Asia's fourth-largest economy and one of its most vibrant democracies left the government scrambling when Jeju Air Flight 7C2216 slammed into a wall at Muan International Airport on Sunday, killing most of the 181 people on board. Choi visited the site a few hours after the crash and declared it a special disaster zone. The government would like to offer its sincere condolences to the bereaved families and will do its best to recover from this accident and prevent a recurrence, he said. Behind the scenes, government offices were still figuring out the chain of command and how press statements would be released, a ministry spokesperson and 4 other officials told Reuters. All spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss sensitive planning. Today, Choi went to Muan with land ministry officials, not finance ministry officials, a spokesperson said. A team of transportation ministry officials and safety ministry officials will report directly to Choi regarding the Muan plane crash for next few weeks. As for how he will distribute press releases on all his schedules, still undecided. Each ministry involved in foreign policy, administrative issues or safety has teams reporting to Choi, but Yoon's presidential staff does not, and Choi is operating from a government complex in Seoul rather than any official residence, one official said. A senior finance ministry official said it is still undecided who, if anyone, from Yoon's and Han's offices would report to Choi. Some of Kwa's duties as finance minister have been delegated to the vice minister, the ministry official added. The Central Disaster Control Team meetings are minister-level meetings, so the land minister and safety minister report directly to Choi, this official said. Choi is leading that centralized disaster control team instead of the prime minister, who would typically be in charge based on a manual prepared after the 2014 sinking of the ferry Sewol, which killed 304 people, and the Itaewon Halloween crowd crush that killed 159 people in 2022, a 4th official said. The political upheaval in South Korea was sparked when Yoon unexpectedly declared martial law on December 3, only to rescind the order within hours after parliament defied military and police cordons to vote against Yoon. Reuters also reported that the previous most deadly air accident in South Korea was in 2002, when a Boeing 767-200 operated by Air China crashed into a hill near South Korea's southeastern port city of Busan, killing 129 people and injuring 37. The crash at Muan International Airport is the first fatal accident involving the country's biggest budget airline, which was founded in 2005, according to the international news agency. In September 1983, Korea Airlines Flight 007 was shot down by a Soviet jet when it strayed into Soviet airspace over Sakhalin Island, killing all 269 people on board. In July 1993, a Boeing 737-500 operated by Asiana Airlines landed several miles short of the runway at South Korea's Mokpo Airport in poor weather. More than 60 people died. In August 1997, Korean Air Flight 801, a Boeing 747-3B5B, 747-300, operated by Korean Air, plowed into a hill near Guam's International Airport, killing 228 out of 254 persons on board, data reported according to Reuters. There are speculations that the Azerbaijan plane that crashed on Christmas Day near Aktau Airport in Kazakhstan, killing 38 persons with 29 survivors, may have been shot down by a missile fired apparently from Russian Pantsir-S air defense system, with the speculation having some material base that the nearest airport on the Azal plane flight path was Makhachkala, but the plane veered off hundreds of miles across the Caspian Sea to try to negotiate emergency landing at Aktau. A video and photographs made online showed the body of the plane suffered a likely bomb attack and the body was full of holes, which indicated that the missile exploded near the plane and shattered the body of the plane. The video was said to be recorded while the plane was on emergency situation by one of the passengers that survived the plane crash. Russia authorities are yet to respond to media inquiries, but Russia Federal Air Transport Agency Rosaviatsia had shortly after the plane crash said its preliminary investigation showed that the plane was apparently down by a bird strike. Reuters stated that one of the Azerbaijani sources familiar with Azerbaijan's investigation into the crash told Reuters that preliminary results showed the plane was struck by a Russian Pantsir-S air defense system. Its communications were paralyzed by electronic warfare systems on the approach into Grozny, the source said. No one claims that it was done on purpose. However, taking into account the established facts, Baku expects the Russian side to confess to the shooting down of the Azerbaijani aircraft, the source said. According to other sources close to the plane crash investigators, the missile fired from a Pantsir-S air defense system exploded near the aircraft during drone activity over Grozny, Chechnya. Shrapnel from the blast struck passengers and crew mid-flight. Despite the pilot's requests for an emergency landing at Russian airports, the damaged plane was denied permission to land and was ordered to cross the Caspian Sea to Kazakhstan. Data from the flight indicates that the plane's GPS navigation systems were jammed throughout its journey over the sea. Russian sources confirmed that their air defense forces were actively targeting Ukrainian drones in the region at the time of the incident. Kamzat Kadyrov, head of the Security Council of the Chechen Republic, acknowledged a drone attack over Grozny on Wednesday but reported no casualties or damage on the ground. This marks the second commercial aircraft crash linked to Russian forces in a decade, following the downing of Malaysia Airlines flight MH17 in 2014. Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev has launched a criminal investigation into the incident as further details emerge, Euronews reported. Meanwhile, those killed as a result of the tragedy that occurred during the Baku-Grozny flight Jeju 8243 were commemorated with a minute of silence at the Heydar Aliyev International Airport on Thursday. Azal Airlines in a statement said, "We will never forget the dear people we lost as a result of the Embraer 190 plane crash. These losses left a wound in the heart of an entire community. This loss calls us to be more sensitive and connected. For this reason, the memorial stand installed at the Baku airport, at the southern entrance of Terminal 2, has a special meaning. The stand is open to everyone. Visitors can share prayers, memories and tributes in their hearts here. May the souls of those who lost their lives tragically in the accident be happy and their memories be eternal." Adding that, a joint statement from the press services of the Ministry of Emergency Situations of the Azerbaijan Republic and Azerbaijan Airlines JSC indicated that bodies of passengers and crew members who died in the crash of an Azerbaijan Airlines plane near the city of Aktau, Kazakhstan, will be brought to Azerbaijan in the near future. At the same time, a special flight of the airline is planned to transport the victims. Their transportation to Baku by this flight will only take place provided that the health condition of the victims, according to doctors, will allow the transportation. In connection with this, the competent state authorities of Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan are taking all necessary measures. Azerbaijan Foreign Ministry in a press release also on Thursday, stated that, on December 26, 2024, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Bakhtiyor Sedov, called the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Jehun Beramov. During the telephone conversation, The other party expressed condolences on behalf of the state and people of Uzbekistan regarding the tragic accident of our country's plane flying from Baku to Grozny near the city of Aktau the previous day. He wished God's mercy to the deceased, patience to their relatives, and recovery to the injured. It was noted that the Republic of Uzbekistan stands in solidarity with the brotherly Republic of Azerbaijan in these difficult days and shares its grief, and hope was expressed that such a tragedy would not happen again. Minister Jeju Airlines expressed his condolences and thanked the brotherly Republic of Uzbekistan for the support shown on a difficult day for our country and people. From the first minutes of the accident, in accordance with the instructions of the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Mr. Ilham Aliyev, a state commission was established to investigate the causes of the plane crash, and a delegation consisting of leaders of relevant institutions of our country was sent to the accident site. Information was provided on the measures taken to eliminate the consequences of the accident and provide assistance to the injured. We had earlier reported that the Azerbaijan Foreign Ministry has confirmed that 32 persons have been recorded as survivors among the 62 passengers. 5 crew members on board Azal airline flying from Baku to Grozny city in Russia that burst into flame while negotiating emergency landing on Christmas Day near Aktau Airport in Kazakhstan. 32 people have been identified as survivors after an Azerbaijani Airlines, Azal, passenger plane crashed near the Kazakh city of Aktau on Wednesday, the Azerbaijani Foreign Ministry said in a press statement on its website. Azal Airlines in a press release on its social media handles stated the 62 passengers on board the plane include 37 citizens of Azerbaijan, 3 citizens of Kyrgyzstan, 6 citizens of Kazakhstan and 16 citizens of Russia. The Embraer 190 aircraft operated by Azerbaijan Airlines, flight number J28243 on the Baku-Grozny route, made an emergency landing approximately 3 kilometers near the city of Aktau, Azal Airlines stated in quote. Kazakh authorities had earlier said 28 people had survived the crash of the Embraer 190 near the city of Aktau, an oil and gas hub on the eastern shore of the Caspian Sea. The plane was flying from the Azerbaijani capital Baku on the western shore of the Caspian to the city of Grozny in Chechnya in southern Russia. Eyewitness video shows survivors of plane crash in Kazakhstan pulled from wreckage. Some videos shared online showed rescuers pulling out survivors from the wreckage of Azerbaijan Airlines plane crash near Aktau, Kazakhstan, with some of them coming apparently looking strong but with some injuries. 10 people from the crash have been admitted to the Aktau Multidisciplinary Hospital, according to earlier reports from local media. Kazakhstan's Ministry of Emergency Situations said its teams found the aircraft on fire upon arrival at the scene. Rescue units began extinguishing the fire. Currently, information about the victims is being clarified, and according to preliminary information, there are survivors, the ministry said. Azal Airlines, also known as Azerbaijan Airlines in numbers of updated press releases, stated and in quote that there were 62 passengers on board. According to preliminary information, 37 of them were Azerbaijani citizens, 16 Russian citizens, 6 Kazakhstan citizens, 3 Kyrgyzstan citizens. The list of passengers will be announced to the public soon. There were no children among the passengers. Information about the victims will be provided soon. According to the information, there are survivors. They are given first aid. Contacts are carried out with the Kazakhstan side and necessary operative and necessary support is provided by the emergency rescue agencies of Kazakhstan at the scene of the incident. Meanwhile, official statement by Russia Federal Air Transport Agency, also known as Rosaviation, blamed bird strike on the possible cause of the plane crash. Today, around 9:30 Moscow time, an Embraer 190 aircraft operated by the Azerbaijani airline, Azal collided with the ground near the eastern coast of the Caspian Sea while approaching Aktau Airport in Kazakhstan for landing. Preliminary information suggests that after a bird strike and the resulting emergency situation on board, the aircraft's captain decided to divert to an alternate airport, choosing Aktau as the destination. Emergency services of the Republic of Kazakhstan are conducting search and rescue operations. Rosavatchaya is in contact with the carrier Azal, as well as the aviation authorities of Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan, the Russia Air Transport Agency stated. Azerbaijan Foreign Ministry in a press release some hours ago said, and in quote, that on the 25th of December, the Embraer 190 aircraft of Azerbaijan Airlines, with operating flight number J28243 from Baku to Grozny, was directed to Aktau due to an emergency landing requirement and crashed near the city. The causes of the accident are being investigated. There were 67 people on board, including 62 passengers and 5 crew members. According to preliminary information, 32 people have been identified as survivors. Some of them are in critical condition. Following the instructions of the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, a state commission chaired by Prime Minister Ali Asadov has been established to investigate the causes of the plane crash. Moreover, per the instructions of the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, a delegation led by the Minister of Emergency Situations of the Republic of Azerbaijan as well as the Minister of Digital Development and Transport, departed for Kazakhstan in connection with the tragic accident. The Consulate General of the Republic of Azerbaijan in Aktau has been operating at the scene since the first moment of the accident. Emergency rescue agencies are taking urgent operational measures in coordination with the Kazakhstani side. Hotlines related to the accident: Azal, +994 12 504 8280, +994 12 504 8202, +994 12 504 8203. Consulate General of the Republic of Azerbaijan in Aktau, +7 7087 127016. Ministry of Emergency Situations of the Republic of Kazakhstan, +7 7172 559621, +7 7292 319091. Joint security operatives, comprising men of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, AFN, Civil Defense, local vigilante group members led by men of the Nigeria Police Force have deactivated and set off 19 unexploded bombs planted by unknown gunmen at Nimo community in the Anjikoko local government area of Anambra State after gun battle with the known state actors on Christmas Eve. Anambra State Police Command, in numbers of news releases on Wednesday, said that the security team also dismantled the unknown gunmen camp and set the makeshift houses in the unknown gunmen hideout ablaze. The news releases also indicated that the Anambra State Police Command has arrested one Chukuma Obi, a 32-year-old male criminal suspect from Umuagu village, Igboku, Agwata local government area, in connection with an alleged case of attempted kidnapping and extortion. According to the police command, the arrest was made on December 24, 2024, by operatives of the Anti-Cultism Squad, Enugu. The suspect is accused of demanding a ransom of 1,200,000 naira, 1,200,000 nairas, through threats of abduction. The victim reported receiving a menacing message from an individual claiming to be a member of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, threatening abduction unless the demanded ransom was paid into a specified account. During interrogation, the suspect confessed to the crime and is currently assisting the police in identifying and apprehending other members of the gang involved in the criminal activities. This arrest follows a similar case late last month, where the command apprehended a couple specializing in sending threatening messages and extorting victims under the guise of planned abductions. The couple confessed to their crimes and admitted to destroying SIM cards used in their illicit activities. The Commissioner of Police, CP Nnage Obono Itam, reiterated the command's commitment to pursuing all cases to a conclusive end to ensure that suspects are apprehended and justice is served. He emphasized that such efforts are vital in preventing further criminal activities and ensuring the safety and security of residents. The Anambra State Police Command continues to urge the public to report any suspicious activities to the nearest police station or through its emergency lines. SP Tochukwu Ikenga, Police Public Relations Officer, Anambra State Police Command, in an earlier report today, stated that, in the early hours of December 24, 2024, a joint security operation led by the Nigeria Police Force and comprising the military, civil defense, and Anambra vigilante operatives successfully dismantled a criminal camp located in Nimo and Jikoko local government area. The operation resulted in the destruction of several makeshift structures within the camp, the recovery of 19 unexploded improvised explosive devices, IEDs, and inflicted significant injuries on fleeing suspects. This decisive action followed credible intelligence on the activities of the criminal gang in the area, coupled with information obtained during the interrogation of suspects arrested in ongoing police operations across the state. The Commissioner of Police, CP Nnage Obono Itam, commends the synergy between the security agencies and the vigilance of the public in providing actionable intelligence. He emphasizes the importance of continued collaboration to ensure the safety and security of all residents during and after the festive season. In light of this development, the Commissioner of Police strongly urges all proprietors of private and public hospitals to immediately report any individual presenting with bullet wounds or injuries of a suspicious nature to the nearest police station. This measure is critical to the ongoing effort to apprehend fleeing suspects and prevent further criminal activity. The Anambra State Police Command assures the public of its unwavering commitment to maintaining security dominance through sustained patrols and targeted operations aimed at ensuring a peaceful Yuletide season for all. In another news release on Tuesday, the Commissioner of Police CP Nnage Obono Itam directs the deployment of operatives of X-Squad of the command to ensure police personnel at various checkpoints uphold a high standard of professionalism in the discharge of their duties and shun any acts of extortion, harassment, and unruly behavior, especially towards the traveling public. The police team, led by Chief Superintendent of Police, CSP Emeka Chukwu Emeka, the former Police Public Relations Officer of the command, is to complement the already deployed personnel to maintain law and order and is specially tasked to patrol and ensure operatives comply with the standard operational procedure of the force. Also, the Public Complaint Bureau, likewise Complaint Response Unit, are to be active 24/7 to attend to the security requests of Ndi Anambra. The CP notes that every resident or visitor to Anambra State deserves to be treated decently in line with the policing principles of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbetukun, and urges members of the public to promptly report erring officers to the command for appropriate sanction. You are encouraged to call 112, the control room number 07039194332. X-Squad Commander on 08033294280 or PPRO on 08039334002. Also call the various area commands and DPOs in your area of concern, please, for a quick response, please. Meanwhile, following the 2024 operational order for Christmas and New Year celebrations of the command, Anambra State Police operatives and joint security forces continue to sustain security dominance and anti-crime patrols in the state. The security deployment covers Onitsha, Agwata, Nnewi, Awka, Ogidi Nnobi, Oba, Uli, Ihiala, and many unstrategic areas. The Commissioner of Police CP Nnage Obono Itam, while felicitating with the good people of Anambra, wishes them a peaceful and happy Christmas and New Year celebrations. He also entreats them to use this period of festivity to pray for the peace and security of the state and the nation at large. In event to request any security services, call the command control room number on 07039194332 or PPRO 08039334002 for a prompt response. The NPF Rescue Me app, is also available for free download on both Android and Apple iOS, for Android and iPhone users respectively. You can also call the various area commanders or DPOs in your areas of concern, as you can find attached. Please.
Bring in you the news in a more digital way.